what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this, my first channel, there's a second channel show that will run after this one, but be sure to subscribe to both and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below this video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Anthony Riley, The Plain Truth, Ranty Flat Earth, Physics Warrior, Larry, Flat Out Hero, Flatten Earth, Daniel, Chocolate Saying, and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Tweet, tweet.
Hello, hello, hello. What?
Two hellos. Is that it?
We're all giving way to each other, it seems.
So, Larry, can you hear us?
Yes.
Excellent. We're going to go through some of the housekeeping questions. So we'll start. Maybe you'll set us straight where we've been going wrong this whole time. So any signs of Earth curvature?
No.
Yes.
Excellent. Tell us all about it, Larry.
Well, boats going over the horizon proves it.
What's the horizon?
Boats going behind the horizon proves it.
Yeah, what's the horizon?
It's a circular area of points around the observer on the spherical Earth.
Can I go to
No,
it?
it's not.
Can I go to it? Is it a specific geographical point that I can visit and measure to?
You know that you cannot go to it, and that's a silly question.
So is that a no? I can't go and measure to this arbitrary point that's physical and measurable. I can't do that. Is that a no?
You are misdefining measuring things.
Sorry,
That's not the scientific definition of measuring.
Can I measure the arbitrary point where the sky apparently meets the ground?
You can.
So the sky does meet the ground at this point?
Yes, and you can measure it.
Sorry, I just get clarity. There is a point in our world where the sky actually meets the ground, and I can go there and see where they meet, they touch. I can do that, can I? Or will I get there?
Measure where the horizon
or
is.
Will I get to that point that you're claiming is the point that this boat goes over? And when I get there, strangely enough, there's a different new horizon.
I'm not sure what the point is that you're making. You can measure where the horizon is.
What is the horizon? It's an apparent position where the sky meets the ground. The sky never meets the ground.
I'm not sure why you keep repeating that. Like, you're repeating things I already know, so
because you're saying the boat goes over an apparent position. But that makes no sense to make that as a globe proof. It's not.
You literally don't have a point here. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here.
The word I asked for was proof of curvature, and you've said that a boat goes over an imaginary point in the distance. Now, there's no curve involved in what you've explained whatsoever. There's no curve in that.
You did not actually ask that. If we go back, you didn't ask that.
It's a housekeeping question. I've asked it about 250 times. You're telling me I don't know what the housekeeping questions are. Any signs of curvature? I must have said that about 150, 250, probably 350 times. I know what my question is. Any signs of curvature? Boat going into an arbitrary position in the distance. That's not curve. What are you talking about? This is rubbish.
It's not arbitrary.
So the sky does meet the ground then? I thought we just went over this and you said I didn't have a point. So the sky will meet the ground. It's not an arbitrary point.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
That's because you're a retard. The sky doesn't meet the ground.
That's because you're a retard, actually.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You don't understand, so now I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you you're
the sky doesn't meet the ground. The horizon is an apparent position. Apparent. It doesn't actually meet the ground.
So do you have
and it changes depending on your location. So to say it goes over an apparent position is nonsense. And it doesn't prove anything. And most importantly, I'm telling you, but you don't want to listen, it doesn't prove curvature, which is the question.
Okay, Larry. Yesterday I asked you a question, my friend. I don't suppose you could tell me what the diameter of the Earth is?
Yes, and it's a non-point.
Sorry, what's the diameter of the Earth?
Let me actually clarify that. Like,
what's the diameter of the Earth, Larry?
Do you know that that's a non sequitur?
What's the diameter of the Earth?
You have gone through non sequitur arguments here.
What is it?
And
we just want to hear you beg the question. Assume you've got a diameter of a spherical Earth, and then tell us what it is in your dream world.
One has a paper that he has written, and another is just saying, "Oh yeah, you haven't memorized this figure, therefore your argument."
Yeah, you don't know it, do you? Just admit it. You don't know it.
You just don't know it. You don't know your imaginary dream.
You have not memorized a figure, therefore your argument is wrong. It's stupid.
You understand that these numbers are from your model, right?
No, that's not actually a point.
What do you mean no?
Argument.
What do you mean no? You're arguing for a model. You don't understand the parameters of this model. So you're wrong.
Learn the definition. It's a non sequitur.
It is not non sequitur.
So, Laurie, before in chat, you said these guys...
You cannot destroy a model by saying you have not memorized this figure, and you cannot debunk an argument by saying, "Oh, you have not read that book." Those are both non sequiturs. Like, have you read Richard Feynman's book on quantum mechanics? Oh no, then your flat Earth model is debunked.
No, that's not the issue.
Oh no, then your flat Earth model is debunked. That's a non sequitur argument.
I didn't realize it would trigger you that much.
No, man. All we asked was for signs of curvature.
You're being stupid and you're being silly.
Laurie, you realize 10-year-olds in school can answer that question, right?
Laurie, let's go back to the beginning, okay? Because when we ask questions, it's not to be rhetorical.
Fuck you, mate.
Excuse me?
Fuck you.
Oh, really?
Hi, Laurie.
This is question one. That's okay. You can stay for a little bit. So this is question one. Any signs of curvature?
Wow, Laurie.
Boats going over the horizon has been definitely smashed to the middle of next week by Ranty. So we've established that we get a more limited viewing angle the further you go out. That would be angular size, resolution, distance, all of that sort of stuff that we've discussed over the last few weeks. That is getting smaller going into the distance. That boat. And eventually the bottom section of that boat, which you have a more limited angle to, will disappear before the top because it's got a wider angle to the top than the bottom. So it reaches the diffraction limit and then goes into that diffraction limit and disappears from the bottom up. This is absolutely not a demonstration of Earth curve and does have other explanations beyond Lowry's religious belief in Earth curve. So, moving on. Any signs of axial rotation? Specifically of the Earth-based variety, just for Ranty?
No. Can I ask a question?
No, we're going through housekeeping. This is what we do at the beginning of the show just to see if anybody, like yourself, Lowry, has any signs of things like axial rotation. Do you have that? Any proof of axial rotation, that would be?
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Weights change depending on latitude because the centrifugal force changes.
No, you can't prove that it's.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish.
Well, that was basically my argument. Weights change depending on altitude.
What's
exactly how they would change on the globe model because the centrifugal force changes.
No problem. What's a
latitude? We have
latitude?
measured this and
What's
it
a
exists.
latitude? What's a latitude? What's that?
Oh, so now you don't know what the difference is.
No, Laurie,
is a latitude?
Earlier, Laurie,
sorry, why am I being rumpus?
I know you're triggered, but shut up, mate.
What's a latitude?
We're not
Shut
triggered.
Up,
listen. When we ask you questions, It's not to be rhetorical.
When you ask me questions, I get to answer however hell I want to.
Okay,
You don't get
no
to
worries.
define
Can
the
I ask my
terms.
question and get your answer, and then we'll move on? So, what exactly is a latitude? Can I go there?
You know exactly what latitude is.
So, you tell me. What is it? Is it a place like the horizon that I can go to?
Why should I tell you?
Is it a conceptual thing, or is it a place I can go to? Can I go to a latitude line?
Yes.
Nathan, can I
you
just
And
will
there'll
say
be.
something?
Hold on. Why am I getting rumpused? Who is talking? Because you're gonna get kicked out. Right.
Laurie.
Why?
I was answering your question.
Yeah, you answered. You said I know what it is. That's not an answer. That's telling me I already know. Usually, you guys tell
Because
me
you
how
do
ignorant
know.
I am, but in this instance, for some reason, I know all about what you're telling us. So rather than you just telling me, you're telling me I already know. Maybe I'm the host of a show
Because you
that's
do
got an audience of about 200 plus people watching, Larry, you utter buffoon. Maybe I want you to detail it to other people, so then I can rip in a new one based on this concept that isn't a physical location that we can go to. But we'll get there if you'll play ball, and I'll prove that what you claim is proof of axial rotation is not. But you've got to play ball. You don't want to play ball, I know. But that's fun for me.
So rant over.
Yeah, what's a latitude? What is this? Is it somewhere I can go? Is it a physical thing? What is it?
Have you studied anything? Have you studied either of
Oh,
these?
so now you're asking me whether or not I've studied it. So, Larry, this is called obfuscation. So, Larry's just not going to give me an answer about his concept of a latitude line and what it's based upon. He's just going to obfuscate.
You're playing silly language.
Oh, so it's a silly game. Defining terms in a debate is silly, according to Larry. It's your last chance. Any more obfuscation from you, Larry, without just defining your terms, I'll just kick you out because you're not here to debate. You're here to obfuscate. You're not interested in actually defining the terms of the words you've used to prove axial rotation. You're much more interested in telling me that I don't know anything, or that I need to study it, or that I know
because
it already.
Because you do not know anything.
Oh, right, so you have changed tack, so it is now in ignorance. Okay, so maybe that's why I'm asking, right? I like this type of obfuscation. It's the type of obfuscation that stupid people
you're doing.
do.
I know you're already looking stupid, everyone here, so
that's
I don't
you,
care.
Best type of obfuscation there is. Ad hominem. Okie dokie. So I'll take that you don't have any proof of axial rotation.
Do you need me to look at the definition for you? You do not know what latitude is?
Why do you need to look at a definition? Don't you know what it is?
Don't you know what it is?
Why don't you know?
Why do you ask me
Why
that
do you think
question?
we're asking
You're asking me the question. Do you not
to
know
prove
it?
how dumb you are? You don't know the diameter of the Earth. You don't know the
I know,
circumference of the Earth.
I
You
know,
don't know the
I know
distance
you
to the
do not
moon.
like this because you're
You don't
being
know
an
the distance
asshole,
to the moon. You
and
don't
I'm
know the
proving
speed
you're
of
all
light.
assholes.
You don't,
So
you
don't
know
talk
anything
over
about
me.
it.
Don't rumpus me, mate.
You don't know
Laurie.
Stop
anything
being a
about it.
rumpus.
Essentially, you know nothing
Stop
about your
rumpusing
model.
me. Stop rumpusing me.
So we'll
Well,
try
answer
again.
a question
We'll see how we
then.
get on.
We
We'll see how
ask
we
you
get
a
on.
question. It's
So
a
what is
simple
this?
question.
So
What is a latitude?
What is a latitude, according to
That's
you?
it.
Can you define it?
It's your proof. We'll move on, because this guy's an
You're
asshole.
as stupid as you said.
Okie
Because you
dokie,
have
yeah,
to
we're all
ask silly
stupid. Okay,
questions
Larry,
like this
no worries.
Because
We'll
you
move
do
on.
not know yourself.
No worries, Larry.
You're
Calm
being a
down.
silly cultist.
Calm down. It's okay. It's okay.
I know,
Just take a
Oakley,
breath.
I know this is the
Take
point
a
where
breath,
you
Larry.
want to be
Count
condescending.
to 4.
You don't want to act
It's
like an
all
adult.
gonna be
That's
over
fine.
soon. Just calm
It's
down.
going to be over soon. You
I
can put a
understand
bullet
you're
in your
very
brain.
triggered
Acting like
right
a
now.
triggered
Very
8-year-old
triggered.
retard.
Just chill out,
Sorry.
Larry. It's all gonna be
I know
okay.
that's how you want to
It's
act.
all gonna
Armin,
be
so shut
okay,
up.
Larry. We're gonna move on. I'll speak nice and slow for you. So, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
Yes?
What's the distance to
Excellent,
the sun,
Larry.
Larry?
You tell us all about it.
Tell us the distance to the sun first, please.
Actually, this is a question that I haven't looked up.
No, we're
But I
doing
could do
housekeeping.
with
Larry,
something.
Larry, this isn't Larry's question time. It's my housekeeping. So I ask the questions,
Well,
you
asked
answer them.
me the question. You said my name, so I answered.
Yeah, I said any evidence of the distance to the sun. You said yes. Now you've got the mic and you want to ask a question. No, that's not how it works, Larry.
I didn't ask a question.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't ask a question. You
Well,
didn't
just tell
listen.
us if you've got any
Like-
evidence of the distance to the
Do you
sun. Don't worry about what you need to know. We're
Are
not
you
concerned.
Brenda and
Let's shut up. There's no concern at the moment for Larry's ignorance and your questions. We want to know. We feel ignorant of the questions we ask in housekeeping.
So
No.
what's the point here?
distance to the sun. Any evidence thereof? Try to keep up, Larry. You said yes.
Well, you try to keep up. I said I actually have not looked that up, so I should look that up.
So when
And
I
you
said any evidence
didn't.
the distance to the sun and you said yes, what you actually meant was, let me just think what the word is, no.
And you missed that point because you were...
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying enough attention. When you said yes, I should have been psychic and known, based on your stupidity, that you actually meant no. Right, sorry, my bad, Larry. I'll try to keep up next time. When you say yes, I'll just assume you mean no.
You don't want to listen, so that's fine.
Hey, Laurie, let me ask you a question.
Hey, so Laurie, you've come in here 3 days straight. You don't know the circumference of the Earth or the distance to the sun, but you've come in here 3 days straight to argue this model.
Can you shut
Are you
up?
kidding? Are you? No, I won't.
Can you shut up?
Nope.
That's his response, Chocolate. Can you shut up? That's his response to that.
Yeah, I know. That's all you got, man. You're a sad case, brother.
Actually,
You're
that's...
sad.
Actually,
You're sad.
not
Just
all
out of
I have.
interest, right? I wonder if after the show, Rumpus tells him, look, you didn't do very well at rumpusing there. You need to do this.
Can you give me the mic for 1 second? Okay, let's say
sure.
5 seconds. That's a non sequitur argument. I already said it, and if you do not understand why saying my model is debunked because I do not know one figure by heart, like you guys rant about not regurgitating and stuff like that, and then you say I have to know numbers by heart. If you do not understand that's a non sequitur argument, you need to get fucking quantum eraser on here again and
Okie dokie.
All right, can we have a
Okie
drowning in
dokie.
red herrings.
That's lovely.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you've joined the debate.
arguments, and you just want to troll
God.
people.
Anyway,
you
I'll
want to
take that
stick
as
to
a
technical
no.
arguments and
It's
treat
no
them as
worries.
serious
No worries.
arguments.
I'll take that as a no then, shall I? You don't have any
So
evidence for the distance to the sun. We'll move on.
bringing the non sequitur arguments, mate.
Okay, asking for
That's a
only
lot of
evidence for the
fish.
distance to the sun, according to Larry's a non sequitur. Okie dokie, Larry. Thank you for your input. Really appreciate it.
That point.
So let's move on.
If
Any
other
evidence?
assholes brought up that.
He can't. Do you need to tucker yourself out? Right, excellent. He's tuckered himself out. No, he hasn't quite tuckered himself out, bless. Should we get you a toy to play with while I go through the rest of the housekeeping questions?
I just want to have a show of hands for anyone who said that his position was debunked because he didn't know the model. Did anybody say that?
No,
Sequitur.
not at
Nobody
all.
said that.
What I do want to
Nobody
do, though,
said
I do
that.
want to cite back.
Then why
I
are
do
you
wanna-
bringing it up then?
No,
Why are you
nobody
bringing
said
it
that.
up if it's not an argument?
No,
Why do you keep bringing it up?
We just wanted to test your knowledge of your model, and so far you
in
don't
chat.
have any
These
knowledge
guys
of your
think they're
model.
so clever, but you just keep throwing our points back in our face. And I'm wondering where you get that interpretation from.
For being foolish and you don't care if your arguments are valid. That's a non sequitur argument.
You're deluded. You're deluded.
No one said that, Laurie.
It doesn't matter what you believe. You are the deluded one, so I don't care what you think.
Okie dokie.
You have to
Some-
understand
some-
that
You
no
somebody
don't
with
put
wind-
the argument
somebody
as
with wind
serious
needs to mute.
argument.
Yeah, can you
Stop
mute if
it.
you're not talking? Can you mute if you're not talking, please?
You need
Very
some
important that we
medication
hear
for
that this
that.
is a non sequitur.
Non sequitur
Yeah,
argument.
we need to hear that he's telling us
you're
it's a
making
non
a
sequitur
straw
for the
man
sixth time.
argument. You're
We need
making
to hear
a straw
this. It's
man
important.
argument because no
actually
one.
do that argument against me, so it's not a straw man. Do you
Excellent.
use any logic?
Larry, we
Not a
heard.
straw man if
Okay,
it's
we
a
get it,
false
Larry.
argument.
Non sequitur, we heard. Thank you. Very useful for the distance to the sun. That. Thank you.
Oh,
Really useful.
Travis, I wouldn't
So
go as
let's
far
move
as
on.
straw man.
Let's just get through housekeeping. I know it's hard, guys. Come on, try. So, any evidence?
A silly point.
Right,
Okay,
Larry, you are just being disruptive.
Point.
I am going to have to kick you out
Okay.
soon. Larry, I'm going to have to kick you out soon. You're just being disruptive. So, any evidence that you can have. Right, time to kick Larry out. He clearly can't help himself. Clearly just a child who cannot stop talking. Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container.
Nathan, have you taken your tablets? Nathan, you.
Another moron.
So this is Chris
That's all right.
MCM, who has a mental problem. He has severe depression, on lots of tablets for it, likes to come in and project his illness onto me. So go and seek help, Chris. Don't come on the panel. Just go and seek
Maybe the
help.
advice was for Laurie.
Maybe. But is there
I
any
guess it was
evidence
kind
that
of
we can have a gas
appropriate with
pressure
the
without a
behavior he
container? Don't all rush to answer.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Laurie to answer. Come on,
I've
Laurie.
kicked him.
How do
He
you
couldn't shut
have?
up.
He's
He
gone.
just kept talking.
Does that include mental pressure?
Taken 20 minutes to get through housekeeping because Larry just has verbal diarrhea, and on that particular occasion he'd said non sequitur 16 times and then wouldn't shut up, so it was time to get rid of him. Hello, Mr. Warped Mind. Can you hear us? Hello.
Speak up.
Hello.
Hello, good to have you.
Hey, how you going?
Very well, thank you very much.
Hey,
Good, man. So I'm just, I've been chatting in the group there, but yeah, I just thought I'd join in. Just late night driving on the highway, so I thought I'd join in and say good day.
Excellent, very nice to have you. Any evidence of a
flattered
gas
too.
pressure without a container, by any chance? Maybe.
No. No.
Nightmare. What about Earth radius? Anybody got any of that? Any R value? Anybody? Any proof of R?
No.
Anybody?
No, I haven't found that either.
Can I just say that while Laurie's been kicked out, if you go back over the chat and watch what happened in the middle of in between the two shows, Laurie makes a statement where he says that these guys think they're clever, and all he does is throws their arguments back in their face. Laurie, you didn't throw any arguments back into our face. None. You failed miserably.
He's trying to achieve some kind of result using very superficial psychological tactics that might work on 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds,
Yeah, exactly.
10-year-olds will become difficult. But he seems to be stuck in there, or that is his target audience or something. I don't know what the hell's up with him.
Yeah, I've been listening for like months now, and I don't think I've heard one Glober come in with a decent argument. They all just seem mental, hey?
Yeah, they're all based on the same presupposition of an R value. You have to assume the Earth is a sphere if you're going to prove the Earth's a sphere. It's the only way it works.
Well, yes. That guy was an idiot, though. Sorry.
Hey, Nathan, check out this new one I came up with last night. Well, I just found out about last night. If the center of the Earth is down, why do airplanes, when they're going east or west, have to make a turn? Why do they have to correct to make a turn? If down is the center of Earth, then why are they making a left turn going east and a right turn going west?
Gotcha. So what you're saying is on a sphere Earth, if they're proposing that the actual genuine angle of attack, which is up on a plane, is self-correcting for gravity because it's on a sphere, right? Then as you're circumnavigating east to west or west to east, why wouldn't the same self-leveling effect take place and you could just maintain level flight and then arrive where you're going? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. If you're looking at them from a satellite, say, if satellites existed, right? Or if you're looking at them, like, you're seeing that the airplane is directly parallel to the ground. So why are they having to turn left? If they were turning left, they would be going north. If they're going east, or turning right if they're going west, they'd be going north.
That's a very good point.
And that also, by the way, cancels out 3 of Wolfie's entries for everybody that wants to say that I owe $100,000. That's 3 of his struck right there. That's a curved line he's making when he says that he's going straight. He's making a curve when he's talking about going across the equator or across any of his longitude lines. He is making a curve. That's how they're able to do it. That's what it does. It makes like with the equilateral triangle, it makes a circle. That's all they're doing is making a circle.
I actually had a really interesting conversation here in Perth with a customer of mine a couple of days ago. He's a pilot for Qantas, And I asked him, I was asking him questions like this at Young Duck. So, if we're on a globe, why aren't you constantly like aiming your nose down every 5 minutes or something like that? He's like, he couldn't really explain it to me, but he said something that was really weird. He's like, okay, so say if we're flying level above the clouds and he sees a storm up ahead on the radar, which is like, I don't know, 100,000 k's away, he will be like a few hundred meters or a couple of k's up above the clouds. By the time he hits the storm, he's going off the same level. I thought that was strange. So it's going down rather than going up or level. So I couldn't really explain that. I thought it was interesting.
Another thing is if you're on a plane and you're on a ball, if you change your flat position so that your flat position gains altitude, you should gain altitude really, really quickly if you're traveling fast. But if you were to try and lower your altitude by changing your flaps, you should get back down to the earth. It should be hard to get back down to earth.
They were actually losing altitude when flying level. I was like, whoa, okay. I would never have thought that. I would have thought it would be the opposite if you're on a ball.
I had a conversation with a pilot when I was on my way to the convention, and he argued that it was gravity that held him in the proper orientation, so that the plane's momentum was fighting against the gravitational pull. So you had those two opposing forces, but that was his explanation. Gravity is pulling him down, keeping him level to the ground as he is trying to resist that by keeping his nose up. That was his explanation.
Yeah, see, they don't have an explanation.
Gravity is pseudoscience.
Yeah, I think what keeps a plane flying is the lift the wings create. So
Look.
that's where you're getting.
Whenever gravity is brought into play, is to explain something they cannot explain. The most stupid thing in the world.
That's
let me
Ravensong
just
for
correct
the
that
super
one. It's
chat.
not.
Sorry to interrupt you, Anthony. Shout out to Ravensong. Thank you very much.
By a force that should not be created. There's no reason to create that force. It should be throwing everything off of its surface.
It's not the lift that's created by the wing.
I've got to head off in a sec. Can I say something real quick?
Yep.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know. So my name's My Warped Mind. If you guys need anything like a P900 or a P1000, I have both of those. And also I've got a whole heap of drones that I use that have like capabilities of flying up to 500 meters and all in 4K. So if you ever need anything done, I just wanted to let you know if I could help you out there. So yeah, all good.
Yes, please. Can we have some 4K P900, P1000 and drone footage? That'd be ace.
Yeah, I want to see.
What would be really good would be a long exposure of the star rotation point. But prove that you're looking south, and if you're not looking south, how far off south are you? Because really the question is, what are you looking at when you look so-called south?
Yep.
Sorry guys, I've got to head off. Hey, I just really wanted to come on quickly because I'm actually taking my dog to the vet and I'm here now, so I've got to go. But if you want me to get footage for you, let me know. I'm based in Perth, Western Australia, so if you go onto Google Maps and find some locations that you would like me to do measurements and things like that on, just let me know. I'll go there happily and get the P900, the P1000 out, drones, do whatever. Pinpoint my locations and then take measurements for you if that helps you. But yeah, just let me know. Hey.
Excellent. Thank you very much, My Warped Mind. Really appreciate you joining.
All good, guys. Take it easy. And yeah, look forward to chatting maybe tomorrow.
Coolio. You might have some stuff on. Have you got stuff on your channel already, Warped Mind? My Warped Mind?
What was that, sorry?
Have you got stuff on your channel already? My Warped Mind is the name of your channel, right?
It is, yeah. I've only just started it, man. I haven't got anything just yet, but I'm more than happy to put stuff up. Because I do a lot of it in 4K, so they're massive files, so I have to start rendering them.
Yeah, just point your P1000 at the horizon and see what you can see.
I will do. I'll put it up. All good. But yeah, if you go onto Google Maps and in Perth and find places of reference that you want me to work with, just let me know and I'll go there. So Perth, Western Australia, happy to do some work there for you.
Sure, definitely. I don't know how good the low-level light exposure is on a P1000 or a P900. I don't think they're great at doing like time-lapse of stars, but I could be wrong on that. I seem to remember them being pretty poor at that, actually.
Yeah, they're not the best at that, but obviously, as you know, they're good for doing like horizon work, bringing things into view that have supposedly disappeared over the artificial curves, but you can somehow bring them back. So, yeah. I was more thinking that if you have locations that you want me to work with, that, if you get the measurement, I can actually, work with that and show that they're actually not disappearing over horizons. So.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, guys, I got to go. Take it easy.
You know what I'm saying, though, Nathan? Like, if they're having to turn left or turn right, going east or west, that's what we should be focusing on, not going up or down, tipping the nose up or down. Like, if they have to turn to go east or west, there's a problem. Like, they're not supposed to have to turn. They're supposed to be going in a straight line.
Yeah, I agree. They'll write it off with things like declination. Hey, Tommy.
The rumpus pays me money to troll Nathan Oakley.
Lovely. Yeah, that is a big problem. I agree.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Like, and it falls just in line with, the AE map.
Hey.
Oh.
Hello, did someone just join?
Anon did, yeah.
Hey, Anon.
Oh, hey, Anon. Good to have you.
Yeah.
As there's been a quiet moment, I'll plug my second channel, so I'm just about to stick a link in the chat box. If you missed the first show because you're a late riser over in the States, it will replay on my second channel together with the pre-show when this live stream ends. So I've just stuck a link in, I'll stick it in again towards the end of the show, but go and check it out. I broadcast the after show, so when I end this live stream, often people on the panel will stick around and chat after the live show has ended. That goes out at about 4 AM UK time or 0400 GMT, again on the second channel. So if you want to hear the after show, subscribe to Nathan Oakley channel, which is my second channel. As I say, there's a link. I'll put another one out. So there it is in the chat box right now.
Man, you can see all my trolls got here now.
Oh, have you bought some trolls? Oh, you mean loyal
yeah.
viewers? You bought all your loyal viewers.
Loyal trolls.
Big shout out to Red Pill Philosophy. Love your work. No, these people
Let me just
are loyal fans.
correct that what was said before about the wings creating lift. The phrase that you need is the Bernoulli effect. It's caused by a low pressure that's created above the wing when the air goes over the longest route round. The Bernoulli effect. If you want to have a look at the Bernoulli effect, look up a guy called what is his name now? Oh, I can't remember. Julius Sumner Miller and the Bernoulli effect. He's very good at explaining it.
Why? Because we were talking about circumnavigation.
Just with regards to plane flights, but the Bernoulli effect is really useful in other applications, and some of the things that Julius Sumner Miller produces, or did produce because he's now dead, they're just fantastic. And he knew that there was no such thing as gravity. He's trying to tell us over and over again in his videos. Julius Sumner Miller, his name is.
Can you find the exact name? I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, Julius Sumner Miller. He's a guy of the 70s. He's a really cool guy.
Are
you done?
We're done. We smashed it.
I gotta go, guys. Laters.
Who said that?
I'll see you later.
Who was that? Thank you very much, whoever that was. There's Is it Physics Warrior?
I'm still here, Nathan.
Who is it that just said goodbye? I don't know who said goodbye.
I
Maybe
think it
just
was
Daniel.
Anthony, right? Yeah.
That was just Riley. Riley just left.
Yeah, Anthony's still here. Anyway, let's not worry. You still here, Anthony?
I could have sworn I just heard him say goodbye, guys. Maybe.
Yeah, me too. No, I'm with you. I agree.
Well, he's still on the call. Oh no, he's gone. You're right. He was Anthony. Are you there, Auntie?
I am, yeah.
You poked the bear and you got a response. Crap response. Did you see?
I know. I've seen.
Hey, Ranty, do you still think that I lost the challenge?
I haven't looked into it since we discussed it, to be honest.
Well, no, I'm saying with what I just said right now, with having to turn on instead of going on a straight line. He's not making a straight line. He's having to turn when he's going on a longitude line.
Like I say, I'm trying to steer away from it if I can. I don't really want to get involved with it.
Why did you do it? Yeah, this is what intrigues me, right? There was nothing in it for you to place that bet. There's no incentive.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
What's
there
the
is.
incentive?
To bring a lot of attention to flat Earth. Absolutely,
okay.
there is.
Fair enough. I think gambling is the devil.
I'm not gambling.
I'm only joking.
I made impossible challenges.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, we did get a response, Nathan. It was to be expected. And,
Yeah, it was rubbish though.
It was lame, very
It was
lame.
very poor, Sly. Very disappointed.
I was, you know, I mean, it's the only way we can get these guys to actually interact with us, essentially. And when they do, we have one guy claiming refraction is to blame, and another guy saying that it's absolute proof of the globe. So they're eating each other at the minute because they're trying to. There's a lot of subs on the go at the minute. You know, a lot of subs that people can take, especially if you're on the ball side. So it's a case of who could get the first video out and who can try to discredit the observation. And essentially, you've got Ruhif on the one side who says this is obviously standard refraction and more. And then we have on the other side, we have Sly who says, no, this actually fits the ball model. So, like I say, they're eating each other. They still can't even find common ground. And they still have refused to answer how come we see Greeba Mountain. It's the little elephant in the room that they don't want to address. Greeba Mountain kind of screws them up.
Give us the stats so they can beg the question. Assume a radius. Assume 7/6 of the radius terrestrial refraction, also known as standard refraction. But yeah, what's this Greeba Mountain you speak of? Why would this be such a problem? I don't understand.
Right. Let me plug in the numbers then. Just bear with me. Greeba Mountain is.
Oh, the other thing was, which part of the island's 80 miles away?
Just one sec. That'll be South Bernoulli, and then you've got past that. You've actually got that wasn't in the composite, you see. So we've got where are we? South Bernoulli and Kronk, NY Ari La. So there's the two other mountain ranges that were showed on yesterday's debate. They're not actually in the composite, and that's at 82.2 miles to Kronk.
So sorry, just to clarify then. So Sly just wasn't paying enough attention.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. No worries. It's just a bit slow. It's at 80 miles, Sly. Hello. Try to pay more attention.
Hey, two questions. Ranty?
Yeah?
It was that taken from like Liverpool?
No, it was taken from a place called Nicky Nook outside of Garstang, Lancaster.
Lancaster. Okay,
Near Scorton.
I was looking on my phone and I couldn't figure out where it was. And from the center of Isle of Man, it was 80 miles to Liverpool. So that's what I was like, maybe he took it. And number two, can we have a couple of high quality JPEGs, maybe linked in the show notes, so we can like have good wallpapers? Good way to start a conversation.
Yeah, sure. One sec. I'll try to share my screen, but again, Google Earth. Oh, hang on. Am I sharing my screen? Woohoo!
Oh, we've got trolls joining.
Sharing.
Arwen, did you see Richard?
Who?
Got someone in the back chat.
Oh, him again. Okay, I got him.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So I'm sharing. Yeah.
You are.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So this is the killer, and the problem that they have is that this is Greeba Mountain behind this platform here. So on this day, the platform moved in and it was tending to the wind turbines, and the day before it wasn't there. The issue that they have, if they're going to claim refraction, is that these mountains are in exactly the same place on 2 separate days, 2 separate weather conditions, different times of the day, 2 separate days, and essentially they're in the same position. So I think the argument for Ruhif, when he went and he did the doing the pixels, and he actually brought it down to around about 700 feet, he reckons there's 700 feet missing. Well, essentially there should be like 1180 or something like that missing. So he's already deferred the height of Blackpool Tower to refraction, right? So if there's refraction to the height of Blackpool Tower going on, then how come it's conveniently gone on 2 separate days? And for instance, I've got where are we? Let's find the not that one. That one there. There we go. So here we have the Where did it go? There it is. So here we have the composite from 2 separate days. So
yeah, I saw all this from yesterday. I mean, I think I watched the shows, the show from yesterday twice.
well, what's interesting with this is that on the top image, you've got more of this part coming down towards Douglas. You've got more of it visible in this area, and on this, it's hidden. So what's it hidden behind? Why is it hidden? Why is it visible here and not here if it's all being refracted?
Can you kick the plain truth out of the back chat?
Where?
Kick both.
Who?
The plain truth.
Who?
The plain truth.
You got him.
Nice.
Right, so Ruhif worked on my imagery that I did yesterday anyway, but the point still remains that this mountain, this Greeba Mountain that's here, evidenced in both on 2 separate days, should be gone to Earth curve. You shouldn't see it. It literally should be on the horizon, right on the horizon, because that's where it would be. Instead, it is way higher. It's higher than the platform. It's in the foreground. And this entire mountain range is visible, this Greeba Mountain. They conveniently don't want to discuss this. Now, as I say, for Ruhif, to say that this is refraction, how come it's being refracted the same on 2 separate days to the same amount in relation to the wind turbines? So that doesn't wash. You can't have the same conditions on 2 separate days, and it would be extreme refraction, like Rumpus said. Super refraction. So I've had super refraction on 2 days, bearing in mind that the weather's been bitter, been like 2 degrees, and it's absolutely supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to have hot air and a cold sea to actually get this refraction. So we're not getting that. We don't have the conditions for that sort of thing to happen.
Sorry, just to correct you there. No. Refraction effects do take place. However, that's not what they're applying. They're applying 7.6R and then fudging that a bit more. So all they need to claim refraction is a bit of proof of R, as that's what it's based on. So if you're going to beg the question, assume the Earth's a sphere, say what should and shouldn't be missing or there, or how high it is based on a reification fallacy known as the globe model, and then use a secondary begging the question fallacy to say that light bends around at the radius value, or 7.6R, then that's just begging the question on acid. You know, it's absolutely mad.
So,
well done, Ranty. You proved the spherical Earth again with that observation. You don't need any super learning. It works perfectly well with 7/6 R calcs, all the stuff you've seen. perfectly matches.
Right. So with refraction, you mean?
Yeah, with the atmosphere is not vacuum.
With refraction.
Yeah, so use refraction because we have an atmosphere with air in it, which refracts.
Right. So this over here, this Greeba Mountain, this is so everything that we're looking at is loomed up. Yeah.
It's not just not throw that. Hold on a second.
7/6 stuff. Yeah.
Hold on.
Everything's loomed up.
Yeah.
Hold on. What's your proof of R?
Well, that's not a debate here. But we
you've just said you apply 7/6R. So R is definitely being discussed here. Prove it.
Okay, if you want to discuss that, you want to move off this subject, then
7/6R. Prove R in 7/6R.
The Ordnance Survey has 76 geodetic receivers that measure this every day, every second of every day, sorted, measured, validated. All body of science says we know what the value is, so we don't need to worry.
Reification
we can use that value in our calculations, no problem.
No, geodetic survey is
I've heard this before, Grumpus.
Oh, why am I getting rumpus by my own team?
Two before, that's also right.
Getting rumpus by my own team.
Bring the proof.
Well, okay. Do you want to move on to the subject whether or not the Earth is a sphere, or do you want to talk about your
No, you're assuming radius.
Yeah, why are we seeing this?
Okay, well, I can show you if you like. I can do
No. Why are we seeing it? Tell the audience why we are seeing this mountain range here, this Greeba Mountain. Tell them.
Okay, I've only done the calcs on Snae Fell. I haven't done it on the Greeba Mountain, but it's all consistent, so it won't be
no, it's not. Let me tell you this. Greeba Mountain should be gone. It should be on the horizon down here.
It shouldn't be gone. We see it. This is nonsense. Should be gone according to their begging the question perspective hijacking curve calculator. No, we just see it. We don't need to say what should or shouldn't be there. I'm talking. We don't need to refer to this reification fallacy to tell us what should or shouldn't be there. This is nonsense.
It's the image that Ranty's got is perfectly in agreement with the Earth curve calculator.
Sorry, that's a reification fallacy. Hold on, Ranty. Let me just say it again. Right, let's get this clear, Rumpus. I made it clear to you that you were only allowed to beg the question for that last observation that you still have not done. So, no, you're not allowed to beg the question here and assume the Earth's a radius with your calculator. No.
The Earth curve calcs work exactly with
It's a begging the question fallacy that you're not allowed to use. It assumes a radius value.
That doesn't assume, it's to use the conclusion of the validated value of the radius.
Well,
no, you don't have a validated value of a radius.
Validated. It's measured every day by the Ordnance Survey, Nathan.
No,
They've got 76 geodetic receivers that are checking the size of the Earth every second of every day.
No.
Okay, can I address this nonsense that is just going on about? We have 124.7 kilometers to Greeba Mountain, yeah? And Greeba Mountain is 1,385 feet tall.
Okay, let me check that.
You can check it. It's from Nicky Nook. Here we go. From Nicky Nook, Greeba Mountain.
Let me use the... I've got the Google Earth here. I can share that. I suppose I'll show you see what I'm doing. Let me just share this.
Sorry, I'm still not understanding why we're using a model. This is a reification fallacy. This does not prove anything.
Well, the Earth curve calculator values agree with what Rant has observed.
No, they do. Number one, I don't care what they agree with. The world is not dictated by what this model says.
It's agreement in the observations.
I couldn't care less.
Agree with the Earth curve calculator.
A reification fallacy.
They comport with one another.
Right, how many times have I got to say this, Rumpus? Right, this is a reification fallacy.
But if Ranty's observations match the Earth curve calculator, then
number one, they don't. Number one, I don't care.
So you don't care that the Earth curve calculator is right and matches Ranty's observations?
No, it doesn't. Rumpus, what does that say? How much is hidden?
Okay, sorry. Let me just look at your screen.
How much is hidden? 1,384.82 feet.
No, that's a vacuum. That's a vacuum. So that's irrelevant. You're looking at refracted hidden.
So now we have to go to refraction. Great.
Of course you do, because we have an atmosphere.
Excellent. So
it's not a vacuum. There's not a vacuum out there, Ranty, is there? There's not a vacuum out there. We have air, and it refracts.
There's not a sphere out there either. You're trying to prove that there's a sphere, and you're assuming it's a sphere in the calculator. You've got an assumed radius value. You're trying to prove it, and you're assuming
it's a measured value, Nathan. It's as measured as much as your house.
Measured.
So
now, hold on a second, Ranty. I know you love to beg the question, right? I want this proof of R. Hold on.
Measured.
I want this proof of R. Show it me.
The Ordnance Survey measures it every second.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Let's have a look. Let's see what they've got.
Well, you want me to refer you to
prove R. You claim to have proof of R. Let's see it.
I rely on the body of science, which is verified.
The body of
genetically-
science is another reification fallacy. It doesn't have a body. It's a method.
Yeah, but then we describe it. If you want, you
It's got
give me a
dad
word
bod.
to describe the consensus within science. Then
I don't care about consensus. I want proof.
the consensus is a particular value has been agreed upon, measured, verified repeatedly.
No, it's
and
presupposed.
measured for
I
every
don't care
second
what
of
it's
every
agreed
day.
upon. I want you to prove that value. Prove it. No, don't tell me
Well, I
what the
can
whole
have
body of
access to the
science does.
ordnance
Prove it.
surveys,
You've
geographic
said you've got
receivers.
proof, and you mentioned
I'm measuring it
geodesy.
every second.
You've said
They
geodesy.
report the size.
So let's see it. Let's see it.
All the scientific institutions around the world all agree on the size of the radius of the
I
Earth.
don't care. Prove
Yeah,
it.
well, so you're denying science then? Okay,
I don't
fine.
care.
You're
Prove
in denial.
it.
You're in denial.
It's not science.
You're
What's
in
the
denial of
okay?
science.
No. You've claimed it's science. So give me the hypothesis.
Well, it's a measurement obviously exercise. There's no hypothesis. There is a.
So it's not
science.
science.
Yes, it is science.
No. Let's make it clear what science is while Rumpus talks indefinitely. So let's calmly state what science is. Science is a study of the physical natural world. It is hypothesis driven. And hypothesis is a scientific prediction. Those scientific predictions are validated or invalidated by systematic experimentation. That is science. Without it, it's not science. And Rumpus telling me that the body of science, which is a reification fallacy, proves this radius value is nonsense. Now, either stop using R with your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator, and it's begging the question fallacy on acid when you apply it again with 7.6R, or prove it. Just prove it.
So, for instance, measuring the size of an electron, do you regard that as science?
R, not an electron.
But I'm trying to give you a principle, Nathan, to get your little handle on so you avoid the sensitive subject of the globe.
That's
measuring
maths.
things. is
Measuring an
science.
electron, maths, not science. Let's get R.
Maths.
I'm not
There's nothing
interested.
about maths that
Right.
tells you what the size-
He's going to rumpus me, so I'll point it out again. Now he's trying to redefine science. I'm asking for proof of R. He's claimed he's got science because men in coats say it, and I don't care. I want proof.
You can. The Ordnance Survey provides you. If you go and ask the Ordnance Survey what
I'm
they're
not
due-
going to ask a map. A map doesn't have a mouth. That's another reification fallacy. You've got reification Tourette's.
Ordnance Survey institution, you moron. The
Yeah,
Ordnance
you've got
Survey-
reification fallacy Tourette's. I don't care what an institution says the Earth radius is.
They measure it every second of every day
Let's see
with
it.
76
Let's see
geodetic
it.
receivers.
Let's see that.
Rumpus, they're saying that their calculations are wrong, or no, they're
And they agree
implying
with
that
every
they're-
other geological
All right.
institution in the
Okay.
world.
Sorry, we've got consensus again. So I say show me the measurement and you tell me they agree with other people.
Yeah, but they're also measuring.
I don't care about consensus. Show me the measured R value.
You're denying science.
Oh, I'm going to have to kick you out, Rumpus. I'm going to have to kick you out. I've said it twice. This isn't science. Science is a study of the physical and natural world. It is hypothesis driven. Hypothesis being a scientific prediction, those predictions being validated or invalidated through systematic experimentation. That's science, not what men in white coats agree upon.
You've mixed out the peer review process.
No peer review involved. Systematic experimentation to validate or invalidate hypothesis. That's science, not men in white coats agreeing that we have a radius and what it
You
is.
can do observations as well, Nathan. You don't have to conduct an experiment.
So
to do
show me the
science.
measurement of radius.
You want? Well, I don't have access to the ordnance. So okay, you can use the theodolite measurement. You could go and do
sorry.
it yourself. Get on the mountain.
Don't tell me what I can do. That's telling me in a future tense. Just show me what you've claimed.
Science. You deny science. The only
Oh,
thing
I'm going
you're
to have to
accepting
kick you out.
you
You
do.
just keep telling me I deny science when I've told you 3 times. I'm not going to tell you for a 4th time. That claiming that the body of science tells us what a radius is proves that we have a radius. It doesn't. Science is a study of the physical and natural world. It will establish independent and dependent variables and their relationship in a hypothesis, otherwise known as a scientific prediction. That prediction will be validated or invalidated through systematic experimentation. There is no peer review involved, only systematic experimentation to validate or invalidate your scientific prediction. That is science. Telling me that men in white coats have decided what the Earth radius is only backs my assertion that this is an assumed value, because it is. There is no proof of Earth radius, only the body of science telling us what it is. So if you want to keep telling me that I don't understand science, and then telling me that science is measuring an electron, when that would be mathematics, it proves to me that Rumpus is deluded. He's deluded.
Nathan, I wanted
Dumpty sat on a wall.
I wanted to play him a couple of videos and have him tell the audience that what we were seeing wasn't there. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I knew where you were going. You were never going to get it out of him. But
I wanted
absolutely,
him to
what
say
you were
that it
saying
was
is
an
what we
illusion.
should or shouldn't see. And what we should or shouldn't see, Ranty, which is why I backed you with it, is based on what the calculator says we should or shouldn't see. And the calculator's based on a group of men telling us we've got a radius value. That's what it's based upon. And when I ask him to prove it, he says, well, the whole body of science has agreed. We've verified by checking what the other people in the other body of science said. No. That's not proof of anything. That's the presupposition of an R value. I've got him on record about 4 times saying it's a presupposed value. But now he's decided to say the whole body of science again. Circle jerk asshole. But yeah, basically, what he must assert and what Ruhif asserts, according to Ranty, is that this stuff is a mirage. We're not really seeing it. It's not really there. Right, Ranty?
Exactly. I had a plan for it. I had a plan to have him say that this was a mirage. It wasn't really there. It was looming. So that he would agree with Rumpus. And then I would say, well, how come Sparkane agrees that actually this is a perfect representation of how you'd expect to see it? Because he modelled it out, apparently. Conveniently missing Greeba Mountain, just so that I'd point that out. He didn't actually address that. But the other stuff, he conveniently said this matched the sphere model. Clearly, he was talking bollocks because what he was saying is you just see the top of the mountains, but he wasn't actually addressing how much of the mountain we could see. And that's why I didn't talk about Greeba Mountain. But in his mind, what we saw was absolute proof of the ball. What we saw in Rumpus and in Ruhif was that this is looming. And they have to deform to that simply because when they both did the calculations, they come up with about 500 feet missing of 1,100 feet that should be gone to Earth curve. So they have lifted the mountain 600 feet. That's what they've done, essentially. And I wanted to get to that point. I wanted him to tell the audience right now that everything that we're seeing in video after video was looming. Because I didn't just get one video on one particular moment. I have like 30 videos over a period of 2 days, over a stretching of about 6 hours worth of video, right? And I could go to any one of them and they all show the same thing. So was the looming staying there all that time? I could have nailed him to the post, but never mind.
Well, he was just going to obfuscate your point indefinitely, and ultimately I've said, and I'm going to stand by it, Rumpus doesn't get to beg the question anymore. There's just, no, absolutely not. If you want to come in and assert 7-6R or R, use of calculator, you're going to damn well prove R. You're not going to obfuscate around it and tell me that the whole body of science has proven it indefinitely, and then say, no, let's just plough on and use it anyway. No, I'm afraid not. You don't get to beg the question here, Rumpus, I'm afraid. That's not what you're ever going to get to do ever again. You can do as you've said and actually apply your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator to Anthony's observation that it's been about 8 months of you saying, next week, I'll have it done. I have done the calculations with some scientist and absolutely I've got it all modelled out. We've got it working. Well, yeah, I've said you can beg the question for that. Don't come in and just keep applying your reification fallacy to every single observation in the claim that that's what we should or shouldn't see. We do just see this stuff. It is just there. You telling us that we shouldn't see it because Earth curve's in the way, but we do see it because the Earth curve that you've introduced has also got 7/6 of that Earth curve radius implemented to bring it back again. No, that's a whole load of nonsense that we don't have to tolerate. You don't get to beg the question. You know, prove R, then we'll start looking at your model that might or might not work, depending on what we can see, given how clear the day is. Anyway,
Nathan, can I have, before you round out the show, can you present my screen for a second?
Yeah, I suppose so. Hopefully it's not porn.
No,
there we go. Yes,
right.
Very nice. Humpty
So
Dumpty.
every time Rumpus starts saying, stop interrupting me, stop interrupting me, stop interrupting me, I always, when I first saw this is Rumpty Dumpty. This is Rumpus filling himself up with hot air.
And I've got one thing to say. I've got one thing to say as well. Rumpus just has said in the side chat don't worry that this is you, Nathan. Don't you worry that the Earth curve calculator agrees with Ranty's observations after just telling us that it's all looming.
So it doesn't agree with anything.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah, I love it. With that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. You can smash that dislike button and then smash it again. But if you like the show, or you missed the first show, you can tune into the pre-show along with the repeat of the last debate on my second channel, which starts round about now. Also, massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing the show. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!